Something I've learned now that I'm in my late 20s is that when I focus on doing more of what makes me feel good, I show up better and I show up more confident in myself. So throughout the years, I've made like small little shifts in my day-to-day life to show up as a more elevated and luxurious version of myself. I really don't think that we need to wait until we lose the weight or we get the money or whatever goal it is that we're working towards to start elevating our lives. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 9 micro shifts I've made to elevate my day-to-day life. And these are shifts that I've made throughout the years, so don't think that you need to completely overhaul your life, especially if you don't have the budget for it. Take what resonates from my list and also think about for yourself what makes you feel like the most elevated and luxurious version of yourself. And hopefully the things on my list will inspire you. If you like these kinds of videos, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell. And I also just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube videos every single week. There's a lot of new faces on here, so welcome or welcome back. I love to create YouTube videos all about elevating your life, being the best version of yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I started doing to really elevate my day-to-day life is I started investing in my health. So when I thought to myself, what does the elevated luxurious version of myself do? Where does she go? Where does she spend her time? I realized that it was not at YouFit or Planet Fitness. And I never used to be the type of person to spend a lot of money on luxury gyms until last year when I was living in San Diego. My best friend got a membership at Equinox and there was like a deal going on where you could get an entire month for free and then you could cancel the membership before you got charged. So I was like, perfect, I'm gonna do that. I'll just get a free gym membership essentially for the month and I'll try out Equinox. I probably will not end up signing up because I could not fathom spending that much on a gym, but I really noticed a difference in the way I felt that entire month going to Equinox versus just going to Planet Fitness or YouFit. Because I've always just gone to Planet Fitness. Like, it was just never a big deal to me. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay more than $10 a month to go to the gym. But once I started going to Equinox, I just noticed a huge difference in my energy. Going to a luxury gym, if you can afford it, if you can find the space in your budget to afford a luxury gym, it is seriously, for me, it is worth every penny. I feel like for me, the biggest difference that I notice is just like the energy and the vibe of the place. I noticed that at gyms like Planet Fitness or YouFit, it didn't seem like people were too invested in their health. It didn't really seem like people were taking themselves too seriously. They were just going through the motions or they were just on their phones, hanging out with their friends. Whereas if you go to a more luxury gym, people are there for one reason and one reason only, to get fit. And people are a lot more serious about their health. And I also noticed that there were a lot less creepy men at luxury gyms. So now that I'm living in Florida, I go to Lifetime Fitness and I do kind of miss Equinox, I'm not gonna lie, but Lifetime Fitness is still really great. So if you have one in your area, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I also just love the amenities at luxury gyms, like being able to use the sauna, the steam room, the like really fancy, nice showers. It just makes the whole experience so enjoyable. And I think especially when it comes to the gym, if you're not the type of person who enjoys going to the gym, signing up for a gym that you are excited about, that makes you feel really good, helps you to just be more consistent in going to the gym. Like personally, I don't have to convince myself to go to the gym anymore because I love my gym. I literally love my gym so much. I love the way I feel when I'm there. I love the people that I'm surrounded by. I love the energy. I love that it's so big and spacious so I don't feel like everybody's staring at me. I never have to convince myself, oh, let me go to the gym today. It's like, no, because I love my gym. I want to go to my gym. So for me, it is so worth it to invest in a higher priced gym for those reasons. Another way I've invested in my health is I got the Oura ring a couple of months ago. And this is definitely an investment. I think it was close to $400. I got the silver one. So the silver one is a little bit cheaper than the gold, but this Oura ring has seriously changed my relationship with my health. If you're not familiar with the Oura ring, it essentially like tracks your steps, your sleep, your stress, your heart rate, your activity levels. There's a lot that it does. And I've just learned so much about my body and about my health. And I also have noticed the way that things affect me and affect my health. It's also improved my relationship with alcohol because it is so crazy with the Oura ring. Like, it gives you like a readiness score every single day. So I've noticed that even with drinking just one glass of wine or one cocktail the next day, my readiness score is so much lower than normal. So normally, on average, I would say my readiness score is anywhere from like 80 to 95 on like a good average day. It usually depends on like my sleep the night before. But when I drink alcohol, like I said, even if it's just one glass of wine or two, it brings it all the way down to like a 60. So if you think about it like a grading scale, like 60 is a D. And I can feel it too, but I never really, I don't know, it's one thing to like feel it, like you feel it in your body, but then to actually see like numbers confirm the way you're feeling, it's really cool. Especially because I feel like I'm a numbers girl. So like, I really love data. I really love looking at things that almost confirm the way I'm feeling. And it also kind of makes me not invalidate myself, because I look at my Oura ring and I'm like, oh, my readiness score is 72. Like, no wonder I woke up feeling this way. It's almost like a confirmation of how I feel, and it makes me feel more connected to my body. So I really recommend the Oura ring. And then the last way that I invested in my health is I really upgraded my nighttime routine. So I don't know if it's because I'm now in my late 20s, but going to sleep is just not as easy as it used to be. I swear I would just be able to like pass out whenever, wherever, when I was in my early 20s and when I was younger. But now, I need to drink my sleepy time tea, stress relief tea. I also have a sleep oil that has like magnesium in it that sometimes I put like behind my ears. You can also put it on your feet too. Hold on, I'll show you. Where are you? It's this little sleep oil. I actually got it made by a naturopathic doctor when I was in San Diego. So there's that. And then I don't take this every night, but on nights when I feel like I really need it, I also have CBD oil. I don't know if you can see it. La Pragma. Honestly, I'm a little bit scared about this stuff though, because there was one time that I accidentally took too much and I swear I was tripping out. So now because I used to take it every single night, but after that one night of taking it too much by accident, after that I'm like, as needed. I will take it as needed. I will take it on the nights where I feel like, okay, I might have trouble falling asleep. And then the last thing I do for my nighttime routine, mouth tape. I seriously love this stuff. I did not realize that I was a mouth breather in my sleep until I started seeing those mouth tapes all over TikTok, and I was like, oh my god, that's why sometimes I would wake up with like my throat being really dry, my mouth being really dry, not feeling like I got the best sleep. And then I started sleeping with mouth tape, and I just noticed like a world of a difference. There are some times where I wake up and it's like on my hand or on my leg, and I'm like, okay. But for the most part, I love mouth tape. The next thing I did to elevate my day-to-day life is I invested in high quality pajama sets. I know what you're thinking, like, really, we're talking about pajamas now? Yes. Because I used to be that girl who would just sleep in oversized t-shirts and boy shorts my whole entire life, you know? But then I just noticed, like, especially when I started working from home, I would stay in those oversized t-shirts all day. And then by the end of the day, I would just feel like gross about myself and just not feel confident in myself. So I slowly started to buy higher quality pajama sets, and you really do not need to get super fancy with these. My first pajama set was from Target, and I think it's like $20 at Target. And then I got a really good pair, two really good pairs actually, from Ross, and they're each like $20. And now I pretty much only wear pajama sets to bed, and they just make me feel so luxurious, so elevated. It like just really elevates your sleeping experience. Okay, the third thing I did to elevate my day-to-day life is I started prioritizing my skincare. I've had acne since I was like 15, so I've kind of always been very conscious of skincare, of what to put on my face and what not to put on my face, and I had to learn from a very young age what my skin likes versus what it doesn't. And I've also always had very sensitive skin too, so I've had to always be mindful of skincare. But I would say it was probably when I was like 25 that I really started to take my skincare seriously. I figured out what my skin type is. I figured out what kind of face wash I need for my skin type. I figured out, you know, what are the things that I need in order to make my skin just look really good. Like, I'm not blessed to just be able to wake up with perfect skin. I've never been that way. My skin has always been more on the sensitive side, so I have to put in time and effort into my skin. But I notice that when I do, I feel a lot more confident in myself. I'm able to wear less makeup or more natural makeup. And coming from someone who did have acne at such a young age, like, trust me, I know what it's like to feel insecure about your skin and want to just cover it up or want to just stay home because you have a really bad breakout. Now that I'm in my later 20s, I don't really deal with breakouts as often. Sometimes they still come, but definitely not as bad as when I was younger. But even though I don't experience breakouts, I do still experience like dullness of my skin and hyperpigmentation. My skin is also very sensitive to the sun, so if I don't wear sunscreen, then you will see it. Like my skin will get very dark and like you'll start to see all of like the imperfections. So for me, skincare is a non-negotiable every single day. I have a very extensive routine. I also got into gua shaing this year, and I'm pretty proud of myself because so far I've been really consistent, and I notice such a difference when I'm really consistent with gua shaing. I notice that I get a lot more compliments about my jaw structure when I'm consistent with gua shaing. And for me, I just love it. Like I seriously love skincare because it feels like my me time. So every night before bed, it's like part of my nighttime routine. I'll wash my face, I'll come and sit over here, I'll put on all my creams and my serums and stuff, and then I'll gua sha my skin. I'll look in the mirror too, and sometimes I'll repeat affirmations as I'm like gua shaing and just like making eye contact with myself, and it just feels like a self-love practice. And then I'll put on my under eye patches and like sit in bed and just kind of allow my under eyes to absorb the patches while I read or I scroll on my phone right before bed. And this just feels just like my me time. Like it seriously makes me feel so good about myself. I'll sip my tea too, and it's just a vibe, honestly. And kind of going along with the skincare, the next thing I did to elevate my day-to-day life is I invested in better quality makeup, and I learned new makeup techniques for my age. So up until I think it was last year, I was literally doing the same makeup and using the same makeup products from when I was like 21. Back in 2016. And if you remember the 2016 days of makeup, it was like smoky eye, baking, like very heavy makeup. So I was still doing that kind of makeup up until last year, except for the smoky eye. I really have not dabbled in like that heavy of makeup in a really long time, but I do still do like eyeliner. I don't know if eyeliner is still a thing these days, but I still, that's something that I have kept in my makeup routine from those days. But last year is when I really like looked at my makeup after I completed it, and I was like, I kind of feel like my looks are outdated, like the looks that I'm doing, because I was using a lot of powder. Like back in 2016, it was all about powder, like heavy powder, powder bronze, powder blush, powder everything. Whereas now everything is cream. It's all about like being more dewy. And I've always been kind of afraid of that look because I have oily, like acne prone skin, but it actually looks a lot better on my skin than powder because it just makes your skin look a lot more youthful and more radiant and more hydrated. So what I did is I did some extensive TikTok research. I learned from all the TikTok girlies all of the new makeup techniques, and I also learned what makeup products we're using these days, and I made like a whole entire list, and I slowly went out and like bought new makeup to replace my current makeup. And I really noticed a difference in how much more confident I felt about myself, especially trying out new makeup techniques. Like I love makeup, I love skincare, I do love doing these things. So if you don't love doing these things, then you know, this might be a different experience for you, but I do still think it's good to invest in makeup and skincare, invest in taking the time to learn about these things, because for me, it just makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel more put together. It makes me feel more confident about myself. And not that I don't feel confident about myself without makeup, it's just that for me it's also a form of expression too. Like my winged eyeliner, my cute blush, my bronzer, like it's just things to like accentuate your avatar, you know? It's just a fun form of expression. Okay, the next thing I did to really elevate my day-to-day life is I created a very mandatory appointment with myself once a week. And this is usually on Thursday or Friday, but I will spend a good chunk of time. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on what I need to do. But this will be my time to just reset everything. So I'll clean, I'll do laundry, but then I would also spend a lot of time on my self-care. So whenever I do like my weekly self-care routine, I kind of like to cover all 4 bases. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So I actually had my weekly self-care on Friday night, and I'm just gonna walk you through everything I did because it was a vibe, and I think it's so good to just carve out just a little bit of time for yourself, whether it's 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, anything that you can give yourself. I don't know how busy your life is. Maybe you're a mom, maybe you're a student, maybe you're working full time, you have a lot going on. Whatever you can give to yourself for at least once a week, put it in your calendar as a mandatory appointment with yourself, and treat it as if you would treat an appointment with somebody else, with a client, with a loved one, with a friend, a family, anybody. And for me, it's not the same time every single week. I just can kind of tell, I can see it in myself. I'll look at in the mirror and I'll be like, okay, I need some self-care. It's time. So for me, it was Friday night. So I'm just gonna walk you through very quickly what I did. So for my physical, I went to the gym, I did Pilates, I did the Stairmaster, I sat in the sauna for 15 minutes, and then I came home, I had a healthy dinner. I also took my dog on a walk to just get some fresh air. I listened to a podcast while I was walking. So that was kind of like my physical. And then for like my self-care, so I'll take an everything shower. Usually I'll put in like some type of hair mask, or sometimes I'll oil my hair. I haven't really been liking oiling my hair now that I'm in Florida because it's so hot and humid here that it feels like my hair gets all the oil that it needs now that I'm here in Florida. When I was in San Diego with drier weather, I felt like I needed to oil my hair every single week. So I created like this concoction that I found on TikTok actually, where it was like rosemary oil, castor oil, a couple of other oils that I'll list on the screen here because I can't remember off the top of my head. But I would do that every single week. So I would oil my hair, put a hair mask in my hair, leave it in for a couple of hours, usually while I cleaned my apartment, and then I would take an everything shower. And then I also used an exfoliating mask from The Ordinary. And then after the exfoliating mask, I use a hydrating mask. So I always just buy like any random like hydrating sheet mask from Walgreens or Target, whatever. I usually like the ones that have collagen in it because they just feel the most hydrating, especially after an exfoliating mask. And then I'll go through my entire skincare routine, do my wash out, and usually while I'm doing all of this, I'm listening to some type of uplifting music or a podcast or repeating affirmations to myself, because I really take this time to just pour into myself, and it is honestly the best thing ever. I will also put on my self tanner. So while my self tanner is setting, that's kind of when I'll do all of my skincare stuff. And back when I wasn't getting my nails done, I would put on my press-on nails at this time too. And then also, like I said, I do emotional and mental stuff too. So I'll usually journal, I'll process any emotions that have come up, I'll kind of sit with myself, I'll pray, I'll repeat some affirmations. Anything that I really feel like I need in that moment, I kind of just allow myself to do in that moment. So sometimes it's having a good cry, sometimes it's journaling, sometimes it's doing a guided meditation. It's just having a scheduled time each week, and not that it needs to be the same time every single week, but just giving yourself some time each week to pour into yourself. I have noticed a world of a difference when I'm doing this versus when I'm not. There was a period of time when I was in my previous relationship where we were always going out, always so busy, going on dates and stuff, that I kind of fell off of this routine, and I just noticed such a difference in myself when I wasn't doing it. So I highly recommend that you implement some type of routine, whatever it is for you, if you take inspiration from mine. I also created a video for TikTok when I was doing Vlogmas back in December of last year, so I can put that video up in here and down below to just kind of share with you my entire weekly reset routine, because that will kind of just give you an entire visual. Let's get on to number 6, following the 2/3 rule. So I actually heard of this a while ago on TikTok, and I realized that I was unintentionally doing this without even knowing what it was called. But essentially what the 2/3 rule is that you never leave the house without at least 2 of these 3 things done. So the 3 things are hair, makeup, and a cute outfit. So when you feel the most put together is when you're doing 2 out of 3 of these things. So this is kind of something that I've always followed for myself. I notice that if I have, just my hair done and not an outfit or makeup done, I don't feel that good about myself. Or if I just have my makeup done, but if I feel like look like a slob and my hair is a mess, I still don't feel good about myself. I notice that I feel most confident when I have at least 2 of the 3 things done. So my hair and makeup is usually the things that I do, because honestly, I'm trying to work on this, but I'm really not the best when it comes to fashion. So most of the times, like, I will choose comfort over looking cute. It just is what it is. It's the Taurus in me. But hair and makeup will pretty much always be done no matter what. If my hair is not done, it's going back in a bun. Okay, moving on. The next thing that I do in my day-to-day life to just really feel like the most elevated and luxurious version of myself, which I feel like I should have mentioned this in the beginning. This might look different for you, but really thinking to yourself, what does the elevated and luxurious version of yourself do on a day-to-day basis? And then start doing those things in your life. And you might resonate with some of the things on my list, you might not, but just really thinking for yourself, what makes you feel like the most elevated and luxurious version of yourself. But number 7 is going to be getting my nails and my toes done. So trust me, I know how expensive getting your nails and toes done are these days. I swear I used to pay like $35 for a full set of nails, and now sometimes it can be $60 to $75. I have found though that the more simple you go with your nails, the cheaper it is. So honestly, that's what I do. Like these nails, they cost me $50 plus a $10 tip. So it's $60 a month. And they do last me like 3-4 weeks. So it does end up being like $50 to $60 a month. And that to me is worth it. And then my pedicure, I'll usually get that every other month. And pedicures are what, anywhere from like $20 to $30. So that is also worth it for me too. Because personally, I do not feel like my best self when I don't have my nails done, especially because I'm a nail biter. I do bite my nails. So if I don't have my nails done, my nails look crusty dusty. It's not a cute look. I feel like a boy whenever I don't have my nails done. So it is not worth it to me at all to not have my nails done. And there was a period of time where I was like, I could not afford getting my nails done every single month. So you know what I did? Press on nails. Every single week I was putting on a new pair of press on nails, because that's just something that makes me feel like my best self, is having my nails done. It is a non-negotiable for me. I will always have my nails done in some way, whether it is getting them done or getting press-ons put on. Especially me being like a content creator, being in front of the camera a lot. You know, I also create UGC content, so my actual nails are in the content, you know, holding products and stuff. I'm not going to be showing up on camera with crusty, dusty nails anymore. Like, no, it's not cute. So, and even too, I noticed that when I wasn't having my nails done, I just felt so like I would almost want to like hide my nails. Like if I was on a date or something and I was like pointing at like the bread or something and they like the guy like looked at my nails, I'd be like so embarrassed. I'm like, no, I don't want to live like this anymore. Like I'm gonna find the space in my budget and I'm gonna get my nails done. If it means that I don't go out to dinner one night of the month, or if it means that I, you know, sacrifice something in my budget, then so be it. And like I said, if you really can't put it in your budget to get your nails done at like an actual nail salon, then press-on nails, you know, they're not the best, but I actually learned how to keep my press-on nails for a long time. And I actually have a video on my TikTok, so I can actually leave that video in the description box below if you are interested in learning how to keep your press-on nails on your nails for a lot longer. Okay, the next thing I did to really start elevating my day-to-day life is I started looking cute to go to the gym or to go to yoga or to just go work out. Especially when you go to the gym, there are mirrors everywhere. And I noticed on the days that I don't put an effort into the way I look, when I go to the gym, I kind of don't want to put as much effort into my workout because I don't feel good about myself. Anytime I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, I'm like I want to look cute. Whenever I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, okay, look at that workout fit. Look at the hair, whatever it is. Just feeling cute about myself just helps me show up better and more confident in myself. So whether that's investing in cute workout sets or just doing some light makeup, putting your hair up cute, anything that you can do to just make yourself feel cute before you go to yoga or before you go to the gym. I go to hot yoga every week, so that's really the only time that I do not care about how I look, because if you've done hot yoga before, you know, you are drenched after hot yoga. Like there is no looking cute at hot yoga. But when I go to the gym, I will still make an effort and look cute. And that's not me saying I do like a full glam. Like, honestly, I never show up to the gym with like that much makeup unless it's like a day where I'm filming or doing something that I'm already wearing makeup. I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to take it off. But usually if I'm going to the gym, I will just apply my eyebrow powder and just a little bit of foundation just to feel a little bit cuter about myself. Okay, and the last thing I started doing to elevate my day-to-day life is I started investing in higher quality jewelry and clothes. I just notice a difference in, first of all, the way I feel when I'm in higher quality clothes, but also the durability of it. Like, I got this shirt, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and it is still in really good condition. And it's not even like the nicest shirt in the world. I think I got it at H&M, but it's still like the quality is really good. So just kind of like investing in higher quality pieces, and also jewelry too. I used to get all my jewelry at Forever 21, and then after a couple of months they would tarnish, they would turn my skin green, and I'm like, that's not cute. So I actually did some TikTok research and I found a really good brand that I'm obsessed with. I literally get all of my jewelry from this brand. It's on Amazon. It's called Pavoy. That's where my necklace is from. My earrings are from Pavoy too. I'm not sure if they have rings. I've never gotten rings from there. I really love getting rings at like little random shops, like when I travel. Like this ring I got in Guatemala. This one I actually got at Old Navy and it was like $10, but it's still like, it holds up. Oh, I don't know if you can even see. It is like held up pretty well, surprisingly, and this is the one from Guatemala. So I just love getting rings at like random places, especially when I'm traveling, because it also is like a cute little memory. Like I have a couple of rings from Asheville and Virginia and just these different places that I've traveled. It just brings me happy memories to like see these rings. Yeah, I think that's everything for this video. Trust me, I really wanted to get to an even number. I wanted to get to number 10, but I could not think of anything else. So we're stopping at number 9. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. This was a different style of video. I talked a lot about self-care, beauty, versus I feel like I talk a lot about, you know, inner work and personal development and things like that. But I am really passionate about self-care and beauty, so I might be bringing more of those topics to my YouTube channel, so let me know if there's anything else you want to see in the realm of that world. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely think for yourself what makes you feel your most elevated and luxurious, and start doing those things, even if it means slowly starting to do those things. I definitely did not start with this entire list overnight. I slowly started to add these things over time. So don't feel like you need to go out and buy a whole bunch of things. Slowly start to add little things into your life to just feel more elevated and more luxurious, because you deserve it. Because nobody else is going to give that to you until you give it to yourself first. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.